Guys, today we'll be learning about 8.3 in geometry, which is Sohcahtoa. The meaning of Sohcahtoa is sine equals opposite over hypotenuse, cosine equals adjacent over hypotenuse, and tangent equals opposite over adjacent. When doing Sohcahtoa, there are four main things you need to know: the opposite, the hypotenuse, adjacent, and the inverse. For this video, you will need a calculator, a pencil, and a piece of paper. Before we get to that, based on your angle, which is x, you shall know your opposite. The opposite is always the side across from your angle that the equation is asking for. The adjacent is always the side touching the opposite, and the hypotenuse is always the slanted angle, or side in that triangle. Let me just get to this. Here are some examples of Sohcahtoa. In this example, sine of C. C is the angle. Any letter can be replaced by C. It all varies on what the angle the problem is asking for from the triangle. In this example, the angle is C. Okay? This is where inverse comes in. Inverse is when you don't know your angle, but you know each side of the triangle. So first, you will need to put your calculator on degree mode. So right here, my calculator is in degree mode. Full tip, write down Sohcahtoa on the side of your paper. In this problem, sine of C is basically asking for the opposite over hypotenuse, but it's inverse, so you set your calculator to degree mode and begin. For every inverse on the calculator, you want to do second whatever the function is asking. So in this case, you would type in seconds and sine. My calculator doesn't have seconds, so I'd do sine inverse. Problem, the opposite is 21 and the hypotenuse is 29. So you want to go ahead and type in your opposite, so in this case 21. In this case it's 21 over the hypotenuse, which is 29. You should get 46 as the degree rounded. Next, I'll be teaching you about regular. As you can see in this example, you have the angle and you need the missing side. In order to do this, you no longer need to put second on your calculator, but you need a paper and a pencil. In this example, cosine of B, 24. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. So write down cosine, parentheses, 24 equals x over 87. You would want to cross multiply cosine 24 equals x over 87 to get 87 cosine of 24 equals x. So you would want to plug that into the calculator. You'd go 87, go to function, cosine of 24, and you should get 79 rounded. Now you try. Pause the video and do the following example. In this example, it's asking for sine of C. Sine of C is the opposite over hypotenuse, as I explained before. So in this example, you want to do inverse of sine over 30 over 50. 30 over 50. You should get 36.8, or rounded 37 degrees. Now you try. In this equation and example, I would want you to do tangent of B. Switch this to tan. Okay. So in tangent of B, tangent is opposite over adjacent. So in this equation, it would be 65 over x. So you want to plug that into your calculator. 65. After you cross multiply, of course. Tan of which is 24. There you go, 24. And you should get 29 rounded. Now onto word problems. We're gonna read 32. From a horizontal distance of 80 meters, the angle of elevation to the top of the flagpole is 18 degrees. Calculate the height of the flagpole to the nearest tenth of a meter. Okay. So it says here that the horizontal distance is 80 meters. Then the flagpole, which is 18 degrees of elevation to the top. You don't know the flagpole height yet, well, you know the elevation from the horizontal to the flagpole is 18 degrees. Then calculate the height of the flagpole to the nearest tenth of a meter. So in this case, you know the opposite, you know the adjacent, you don't know hypotenuse. And what, out of the Sohcahtoa, what would you use to solve this problem? Okay, so Sohcahtoa. You know the opposite and you know the adjacent. So you use tan. So it'd be tan of 18 equals x over 80. Now you want to cross multiply to make this 80 tan of 18 equals x. Then you want to plug that into the calculator, clear all this, which is 80 functions tan of 18 equals 25, 26 rounding. Now you try. I'm going to show you this example, 34. The angle of elevation of the sun is 68 degrees. When a tree casts a shadow 14.3 meters long, how tall is the tree to the nearest tenth of a meter? Pause the video to solve. To start off with, the angle of elevation from the sun to the ground is 68. So you want to draw that, 68. It says here the tree cast a shadow as 14.3 meters long. You don't know the tree height yet, so that's x. You know the opposite, you know adjacent, you don't know the hypotenuse. So in this case, you'd use tan. It'd be tan of 68 equals x over 14.3. Then you want to cross multiply. You have 14.3 tan of 68 equals x. Now, I'm going to plug that into the calculator. 14.3 functions tan of 68 to get 35 rounded. So that is your answer. That is it for today, guys. I will post daily. Thank you.